have been guarantees in life. Jazz hold on to leads. Jazz beat teams that are below 500. Jazz win games they're supposed to. Now you're just left with death, taxes, and Ron Boone showing up for work as your only guarantees in life. We're talking about it on POSTCAST. David Locke, along with Ron Boone, as the Utah Jazz lose to the Houston Rockets by the final score of 116 to 111. Here's the best way I can sum this one up for you. I didn't prepare adding on to the losing streak, so I think we've lost 6 of 7.
6 of 7.
But I'm not actually certain of that fact.
Yeah, we lost 6 of 7. We've lost, no. We were 5 of 6, so now we're 5 of 7.
No, 6 of 7. I think but I didn't think we'd lose tonight is the point. Even without Donovan Mitchell and Ron, I mean.
So if we've lost 5 of 6 and then you lose another game, what happens?
Then you've lost 6 of 7.
Okay, yeah.
Here's the things that are disturbing, okay? So last year, we were 52 and 20. Against below 500 teams, we were 31 and 7. This year, we've lost 8 games already to below 500 teams. We've lost 7 games this year to teams that are winning 36% or less of their games. Last year, we were 41 and 4 when we led at the half. This year, we've lost 7 games when we've led at the half already. Last year, now we did not lead going to the fourth quarter tonight, so this would not parlay. But last year, we only lost 2 games all year. We lost going to the fourth quarter. This year, we've lost 5. And frankly, to me, this is another loss that we led going to the fourth quarter because you down by 2 to the Rockets. Going to the fourth, you should beat the 13 and 32 Rockets. I don't care if Donovan didn't play. And I'll add the last one that is probably the biggest problem to me. We didn't get any stops.
No stops.
The reason we used to beat below 500 teams and the reason we used to never lose leads was because we were an elite level defensive team. And tonight, a Houston Rockets team that comes in ranked 25th in the league offense with an offensive rating of 107 had a 121 offensive rating against us. Now, they went bananas from 3, making 22 of 45 from 3. So I guess you can go make or miss league. I'm just not there.
Well, in order for something like that to happen, they have to get the kind of looks that they need to make them. So that means, again, to double down on what you're talking about as far as our defense is concerned. Those threes that they made, there were some tough ones. They made some tough ones, some guys with a hand in their face, but they also had the looks there as well. Tate, for instance, he gets a couple in that first quarter. 26%, is that what he was for the year? 20 somewhere in there. Yeah. But it's just the Jazz get outscored that second half, 59 to 49, after leading by 2 going into the third quarter.
Rob, we led this game by 13, and at one point we're back down. There was a 22-point swing in this game against the Houston Rockets. No offense, but the Houston Rockets are not built to win basketball games right now. What is going on that the Utah Jazz are on the wrong side of a 22-point swing in about 14, 15 minutes? And honestly, this is not new, right? We are seeing this team. You and I called it. I mean, if you listen to our broadcast tonight, sorry, I'm just but we literally called it 3 minutes into the third quarter. You said, let's make sure we don't let up right now. Let's stay focused. Both of us saw it. There was a possession. Because I literally was thinking the exact, you said it, and I was like, oh, well, I just saw the same thing you did.
Yeah.
And then it happened. And then it happened right. It's noticeable to us. Why can they not stay engaged in a basketball game?
And the thing is that staying engaged, correct, but after they lose it, it's difficult for them to get it back. Tonight was a perfect example of not being, I think, focused for 48 minutes.
7 minutes left in the third. Mike Conley hits a 3. We lead it 75 to 62. Come on, night's over, right?
Should be, yeah.
But so that's 7 minutes left in the third. Before you realize you can say, I don't know what you want to say, we're down with 7 minutes left in the fourth, 98 to 89. We go from up 13 to down 9, 22 points in a span of 12 minutes. You're breaking a great. I gave you the data. Let's go back to what you just said. That was a great point. It's one thing that they lose it with a regular. Why can't they regain it?
Regain it, exactly. Now, my problem with what's going on with this team, Dave, is that we're are we focusing in on the wrong things here? Because defensively, we're not as good as last year,
No.
and offensively, we're better when the pace is much better than what it is now. Our pace last year may have been a little bit better than what we're playing at this year, but I think our ball movement was better last year.
When you run, there's an unselfishness to running that you
Thank
do
you.
not know who's going to get the ball and how the possession is going to play out. And so you have to run for the well-being of your teammates.
You just put it squarely on the way I'm thinking and the way it should be done with this team. We have too many good shooters. Our shooters are better than the Houston Rockets. But if you're not getting those things, you work your butt off to get a low percentage shot. That's not very good.
Now, Boyan's very important because Donovan didn't play tonight, and he's all of a sudden in a bad slump. He's 6 of his last 32 from 3. You don't usually see that out of Bogey. He got plenty of looks that probably could have changed this game. He got 2 back-to-back, one of which finally fell. But they also just don't help themselves. Rudy misses 2 free throws. They commit a foul. They're just not, and they're putting themselves in such a bind. It kind of goes back to, I don't remember what that game was. I think it might have been in Miami where we had that flurry late in the game. Everyone was so excited about it. It's like, okay, well, you exposed yourself. If you played that hard the whole night, you'd be all right. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I'm in a
we gotta get it
circular
back.
loop of talking right now with no answers, Ron.
Yeah, and that's it. We don't have any answers. I mean, we know what we see. We tell our listeners what we see. We listen to the coaches on what should be done and the things that they try to do or what they want to do, and they're just not getting it done. Our defense is definitely not as good. Teams, especially when they switch 1 through 5, just like last year, are giving us some problems.
One of the criticisms that's going on right now on a regular basis in these losses on Quinn Snyder is basically let's line he's left this. I don't know if this is true. I have to check the data, but that Quinn left the 5th line out there on the wrong side of 15 to run the other night. They didn't bench Clarkson when he was bad. Quinn's been very I give players freedom. I believe in them. I kind of side with Quinn on this in the sense that if we're going to win a championship or we're going to win a playoff series or we're going to win a game, those are the guys that are going to have to win it for you. As nice as it would be to play Eric Paschall or go to Jared Butler or do something crazy. That's not how you're going to win. But is it time maybe for some tougher love when guys are having bad nights?
I don't think there's any doubt. It's time for some tougher love. And get back to that ball game you said where he didn't call any timeouts. And sometimes coaches get a little upset with themselves. I mean, the team to the point where they say, okay, you guys figure it out. I mean, you're not doing what I've asked. You're not making anything work out. You figure it out yourself. And sometimes the players, don't listen. They don't get it done. But the tough love that you're talking about, it's definitely time for that.
Let me ask the elephant in the room question. We had blatant, obvious sniping earlier this week in the media amongst our players. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Is that impacting things?
I think individually, to be honest, it shouldn't impact your play on the floor. It should impact your relationship with a player. Now, where does that go from there? But, boy, David, it's hard to say. As an ex-player, I know it wouldn't bother me on the floor because I know I would still, be trying to play hard and win. But I think, it very well could be because if it is something that carried over from last year that's repeating itself and players are probably getting a little upset.
Well, it's a disturbing
trend.
Royce
O'Neal getting ready to do something with the fans or something?
No, Royce O'Neal I think is just coming out here to work on his shot.
Oh, is that it?
Which is the new thing we're doing.
He's got Lamar out here with him. Yeah,
we're working on. We do this after games.
Yeah.
Royce went 1 for 5 today and airballed a big 3.
Yeah, sure did.
Rudy missed 2 free throws late.
Great.
Missed a bunch of shots.
Great night rebounding the basketball, though.
Yeah.
He had 15 rebounds, 2 of them on the offensive glass, 5 assists. But
Well, all right. Here's the two thoughts I would have for you. One is that we have certainly got into a blender the wrong direction. We're in a spiral the wrong way. It all started when no Rudy. We've lost 6 of 7. 4 of them without Rudy. 1 of them's without Donovan, and 1 of them's with Donovan with a concussion in the second half of the game. Okay, so like we haven't lost any of these games in a good and a full strength. I don't know that that's sufficient, but like leave it there. So that's your one positive. You need a positive at the end of the night. My other positive is, seriously, I'm totally serious. If you want to decide we're broken, you're better off breaking at game 45 than 85.
Yeah,
you have a chance to fix this still. We got 30 games to go. You're 37. We got. There's like if this team need to be humbled and realize they have to come together and they have to play together, they're going to embarrass themselves. Then now's the time. So that would be the second positive. We'll see. That is Postcast. Have a good one.